Alright guys, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something these boys from Delaware are doing. So about a year ago, I ran into some information on some guys from Delaware. What these guys are doing is something different, and I think you should take note of it. So these young men in Delaware have a company called Shed Knives, and about a year ago, they sent me a knife called their Tatora knife. And I like this knife. I've actually used this knife quite a bit. My biggest complaints at the time that I got this knife were that it wasn't super sharp. I like my knives, when they come in the mail, I like them to be razor sharp. And this one wasn't razor sharp, but I put a nice edge on it. The hunk of steel this is made out of is pretty impressive. And what's cool about this is literally some young men in Delaware had took a hobby and they started making these in the backyard, in a shed in the backyard of one of their houses. Going back to the days when kids used to play with fire, they got themselves a blacksmithing kit, started making knives, and it's impressive work what they've been able to do. Now I'm not sure, you know, how exactly they make their knives these days, but it's still a pretty cool little craft that these guys have taken up, and I made a video supporting it because I want to support young men when they come up with good ideas and want to do something productive with their lives. You don't see that very often anymore. And this Tatora is still one of my favorite knives. It didn't come with a case, but at the time they were kind of working out some issues with that type of stuff. And I recommended to a lot of people that they put these on, you know, Christmas lists for their husbands or, you know, whatever it is, because it's a pretty sturdy knife. I mean, I take this is one of my pack knives. Now the one they sent me this year is probably going to replace it. This is their sheep's foot. It doesn't have the point on the end like the Tatora does. And it's definitely a different, you know, it's a different design knife. It's a sheep's foot instead of a Tatora. But the nice thing about this is it came razor sharp. I could shave with it. So these guys have not only started this hobby and turned it into a small business, but they've made some massive improvements. They've upgraded their handles from the rope handle that came on my Tatora, which I still like that rope handle. It's kind of a nice survival knife if you ever had to pull the rope off and use it for something. But they've upgraded to these G10 handles, which are also very nice. They have actually gotten even a little hunkier with the metal. I mean, look how thick this sheep's foot is compared to the Tatora. And I thought the Tatora was a pretty nice piece of steel, but this one came razor sharp, a much heavier knife, and they've gotten themselves some cases. So it's pretty exciting to see some young men taking off with a hobby and turning it into a practical small business model. Like I said, they started out their backyard out of a shed. And so I wanted to just give them a shout out on our channel, because I feel like we should be supporting these types of things. You know, if we get out there as consumers and we support the right things, you know, hopefully we'll have more young people coming up with more innovative ideas for small businesses and have a little bit more productivity. Now, this is one, it's called the Atlas, I believe. And they sent this one for my wife. I know, right? But, you know, what she wanted this for was mainly when we travel cross country, we do a lot of camping. So this is another good, both of these will be kind of pack knives for us that we put into our travel gear. But this one is a really good kind of kitchen knife for chopping things up. You know, I was thinking with all these birds flying around here and the weight of this thing, it could actually be, and how sharp they've gotten these, it could actually be a great knife for processing birds, poultry, chickens, ducks, whatever it is. I know people don't like to talk about processing meat, but it's a reality of life. It gets processed somewhere. If you do it yourself, at least you can make sure it's done humanely. So this is one of those knives that I could see us putting into our processing arsenal. We also have some Morab knives that we use, especially when it comes to processing the rabbits. But this is something that could be a quick beheading, in my opinion. The weight of it, very strong, sturdy knife, really pretty knife, and it's got a yellow G10 handle on it. So this one is for my wife. So she doesn't use it on anything but the chickens. And the sheep's foot's one that I requested because I think that the sheep's foot is kind of a cool design. It's a very big, hardy knife. Now the only issue that I have, any feedback I have for them this year, is that when I have this on my belt, the part that is on the actual buckle it's a little loose, so it tends to lean forward. But I'll probably attach this to my pack, and so that won't be a problem, really. But if there was a way to, I don't know, make it a little, it tends to lean forward, which is kind of cool too, because then you can kind of pull it out fast. But I definitely love these knives, love what these guys are doing. And you know, with the holidays right around the corner, that's not too far away, these guys tend to sell out by the end of the year. I mean, they can only hand make so many knives. But if you wanted to give your husband, or heck, your wife, yeah, you know, we have a lot of wives that cut chickens' heads off. If you wanted to get any of them, just a great little Christmas gift, these are some great knives made by some young men that are trying to do something productive. So you're supporting a good small business model. Right here in the United States. They're made of U.S. materials. Here we go, they're made with pride. Shed knife pride. So check them out, go to their website. They've got a lot of cool stuff, and they've upgraded their boxes too. The first box I got just was a little cardboard box with their knife, their like a hand stamp of shed knives on the top. Now they've actually got these nice boxes, so it makes for even a better present. And inside the boxes, you'll find some of their stickers for your water bottle. I have lots of water bottles with stickers on them. Let's see, they've got all sorts of different color options for your G10 blade. And they've got a Skur, a Conquest, Sheep's Foot, Atlas, Tatora, Resilience, US Tonto. If I had to pick another knife, another one that I'd like to try, because I've got the Tatora, the Sheep's Foot. My wife has the Atlas, which is kind of a dangerous knife. I would actually, you know, for my wife, or you know, maybe one of my kids, if I decide to ever get them into a fixed blade, I'd look at the Skur or the Conquest as a carry knife. The Tonto, the Resilience, those both look like knives that I might want to try out myself. The Conquest is a really pretty knife. If you guys maybe went with the Midnight Black or OD Green on that Conquest, or the Tonto, that could be a really pretty knife. So you could check out all these different knives on their website. And the other thing that I noticed is the Buffalo Wool Company, who's been a supporter of our channel and our projects, they actually started carrying some of these knives last year on their website. And I was trying to talk him into, and also maybe Shed Knives, into making some buffalo leather sheaths for some of these knives. So that could be an option. I haven't gotten that far with them, but I like when I see people doing good things, try and connect them with other good people that are doing good things, and see if we can't, you know, network with each other and grow each other's businesses, because that's what makes a good economy, a strong economy. You know, what we consider local these days is really our network, our extended network. You know, my wife and I have had the opportunity to travel cross country over the past several years and meet a lot of great people in a lot of places, and we try and support all of those people as much as we possibly can. So check out Shed Knives and let me know what you think. it's really great when you can get out there and support what young people are doing, young entrepreneurs. Just full disclosure, I don't get anything from these guys for what I'm doing. I'm doing this because I really value the young men over there at Shed Knives and what they're trying to accomplish. I've always been entrepreneurial myself. I only spent maybe a total of about 4 years of my life working for somebody else. And so when I see people getting out there being productive, especially with everything that's been going, oh, what was that? When I see young people out there doing things that are productive and they're actually, they're actually doing something, I want to support it. And I think you should too. There's no reason why you shouldn't support what they're doing, especially with, Christmas right around the corner, the holiday season. I mean, there's just so many. They make great stocking stuffers, depending on how big your stocking is. I'm a man, so I have big feet. Of course, I guess some men have small feet. You know what they say about that. All right, let's get on with this day.